I'm on my grind. I know what it is.
Gervonta Tank Davis is lining up a fight in January against Hector Garcia. Many people are not happy with the fight. I have no problem with the fight, man, and here's the reasons why. Um, Number one reason is he could be fighting somebody that's way worse. He could be fighting somebody pulled up from the ranks, but he's not. He's fighting a worthy opponent in Hector Garcia. I'll get into Hector Garcia in a second, man. Right here, see, we got a Hector Garcia, man, Dominican, coming out of from I forgot. I don't even know how to pronounce the part of Dominican Republic, man. This part of Dominican Republic, coincidentally, man, some of my family is from this part, San Juan de la Maguana, something like that. But he's a solid fighter, dude. No losses, man. 16 wins and no losses, bro. Decent punching power, 50%, 51%, 52% KO ratio. So he's not the most powerful puncher, but he got some snot behind his punches. He managed to beat Chris Colbert, which I call Chris Colbert. I don't know why I've been always calling him Chris Colbert. It's funny because let's get to Chris Colbert real quick. Let's talk about the names. That shit annoys the shit out of me with his name because I've never actually heard him say his name. You ever heard him say his name was Chris Colbert? But everybody calls him Chris Colbert. But that is, I mean, that's just a French way to say it. It should be Chris Colbert. That name has a better ring to it. It's Chris Colbert just have a better, it just flows better than Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert just sounds stale as fuck. That's just me. That's why I call him Chris Colbert. I'm just gonna be a little different. I've been calling him Chris Colbert, and that's what I'm gonna keep calling him Chris Colbert. So Hector Garcia managed to whoop Chris Colbert, knocked him down in the 7th round of their fight. I think that was at let me check. That fight was at 126 pounds. They fought for that. What was it? No, actually, I'm sorry. It was at 130. They fought at 130 pounds, and that was loud. That was an interim fight, I believe, for setting it up to fight Roger Gutierrez for the WBA. I think it was the WBA world title, super featherweight. So this guy beat Chris Colbert, which was one of the dudes, aka Little B Hop, prime time, whatever you want to call him, from Brooklyn, no doubt. But he was talking a lot of shit before that fight. He got sparked. This is what it is. He whooped him fair and square. They gave him his first loss, and then he ended up then he fought Roger Gutierrez, whooped him, and got the WBA World Super Featherweight title. So he is a title holder. Nonetheless, he's a world holder, but still he has a belt at 130 pounds. All right, so he's moving up to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. That fight is going to be held at 135 pounds. That fight in Washington, D.C. at the Capital One Arena. I have a prediction coming for that soon, so stay tuned. But he's a worthy opponent, man. He got no losses. He's a pretty good boxer. He's tough. We'll see what happens in the ring, you know what I'm saying? But Ryan Garcia, I heard he was fighting, but I don't know who he's fighting. He should be fighting before. They're supposed to fight. They agreed to terms, him and Tank Davis. That doesn't mean anything was signed. Agreed to terms. Don't get so hyped when you guys hear the agreed to term things now, because it seems like in boxing, when you're hearing agreed to terms, and then everybody gets hyped. Because in the old days, when you hear agreed to terms, that's usually right after that you go see some papers being signed. Nowadays, it's always agreed to terms, and then like months later, you still don't have a fight signed yet. So I don't want to get too hyped up about it. Okay? But Ryan Garcia, they said that he's supposed to fight somebody. I don't know who. Not sure who he should be fighting next. If Tank is fighting, that's Tank staying busy. I recommend Ryan Garcia, if that fight is coming, I recommend Ryan Garcia to stay busy. He needs a fight to put under his bag, under his belt too. All right, so obviously last fight Ryan Garcia had, he's a power puncher too, 82% knockout ratio. Last fight Ryan Garcia had was Harvey Fortuna, in July. Nothing else really lined up. Both Tank and Ryan Garcia, they haven't really been fighting anybody of notoriety. I'd say Tank Davis' resume is just slightly better than Ryan Garcia's. It's not worlds apart from Ryan Garcia's. I'd say just slightly. But Ryan Garcia, man, he needs to stay busy. I'd say put him in there with maybe a Richard Comey or somebody like that. Just throw him in there with Richard Comey. Fucking hell, feed Rayo to him. Let him knock Rayo out. That's what's gonna happen in that fight. Let him knock out Ryu and Rayo, whatever you want to call him, and then go into the Tank fight. That's what's gonna happen. So that's just where I'm at with it, man. But I think this is an okay fight for Tank Davis, considering he is supposedly going to be fighting Ryan Garcia next. This is not a bum by any means. Hector Garcia is no bum. He's no pushover. So it should be a pretty good fight for Tank. But I think Tank wins, but it should still be a good fight for him. All right, this is a champion at 130. So you got to give Hector Garcia his props, man. Beating two dudes in a row, beating one for the interim, leading to the WBA World Super Featherweight, and getting that belt for Roger Gutierrez, man. You know what I'm saying? So we will see what happens with Ryan Garcia. Wait to see who he fights before the potential Tank Davis fight. That's what I got. This is your boy Rebel Life Boxing, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I catch y'all. Stay tuned for more raw content the Rebel way, baby. Catch y'all later. And I'm out.